Hello, so today I want to explain bipolar disorder. So bipolar disorder is a feeling of highs or lows, where you're feeling great or you're feeling very depressed. So as people typically have very level mood swings, people with bipolar disorder do not experience that. So bipolar disorder is typically passed down by generations. It's a chemical imbalance in your brain where the neurons are not properly connecting. They're sending missed signals. Or the environment can also play a part in the development of bipolar disorder. So the way that you know if you have bipolar disorder, you'll typically feel very depressed, very low. Sometimes you'll go to the doctor for treatment. If you're feeling very maniac and very excited and very happy, you wouldn't go to the doctor to be like, hey, I'm feeling great. So often people with bipolar disorder are misdiagnosed. They're not diagnosed correctly. For example, myself, I'm bipolar. But up until the age of 34, the doctor diagnosed me as only depressed. They weren't including my maniac behaviors. Because I'd be going to the doctor when I was feeling good, and that wouldn't be very successful. To be successfully diagnosed, I was finally successfully diagnosed as bipolar. So the feelings that you have if you're bipolar are very maniac. Sometimes you'll feel really high and like you can't mess up. You'll go on spending sprees. Sometimes you'll feel really angry and lousy and everything's bothering you and the world's out to get you and very irritated. A fourth way is sometimes you'll become very sexually promiscuous. A fifth way is you'll have problems with authority or police or your boss. You have lots of conflicts with authority. So those 5 behaviors are labeled mania behaviors. Where on the other hand, depressed, you typically know the behaviors. People know what that looks like. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to eat anything. You either sleep too much or you sleep too little. Sometimes you'll gain weight, or sometimes the opposite will happen and you'll lose weight. You'll typically not want to socialize with other people. You'll feel very isolated and want independence. So you'll lay in bed all day and all night. So you'll typically get out, and sometimes you'll get out of bed, get a shower, get all dressed, get ready to go, and then just feel, what's the point? What's the purpose of going? And you'll feel very lethargic. So the person who would typically diagnose you is a psychiatrist. Sometimes your family doctor will diagnose you, but typically they'll refer you to a psychiatrist for diagnosis and treatment. So there's a few ways that you need to take care of yourself. 3 ways to take care of yourself with bipolar disorder. Sometimes it's medication, that's the best way. You'll go for treatment or counseling. And sometimes you just need to change something in your life, change a habit, something that you do every day to help. Get on a regular sleeping schedule, get on a regular meal schedule, a regular medication schedule. Those 3 things will help you. And plus the 4th thing, and possibly the most important, is a family support, friend support, something called a support system. Someone that you can go to whenever you're having problems, someone you can depend on It's like if you're feeling you can't do it by yourself, you can go to that person. Maybe it's your husband or your wife or mom or dad, or sometimes your own child can help you with that support. Sometimes it's a friend, sometimes a boss that you can trust. But you don't want to publicize that, hey, I'm bipolar, come help me. That's not the best way to do it. You want a few people in your support system that you trust for help. There's two different kinds of bipolar disorder, bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. If the doctor tells you, hey, you're bipolar, here's medicine, prescription, go to the pharmacist and they'll fill it. You'll read on the paper that it'll say either bipolar 1, meaning that your moods are very drastically high or drastically low, and it's very serious. Bipolar 2, you'll have a more light. It's not as drastic a difference. It's still very serious, and you still need to take care of yourself. But there's no cure for bipolar disorder. So I've been diagnosed for 8 years, and for 8 years I've been taking medication, and I will continue to take medication for the rest of my life. It can be a kind of a heartbreaking process to decide, because sometimes you'll just have to accept it. You just go about your life, but sometimes you feel, I don't want anymore. I'm finished with bipolar disorder. I'm finished with the medication. I don't want treatment. I don't want to depend on people. I don't want help. I want to be level-headed. However, you have to accept the fact that you are bipolar. And that's the most important thing for myself. Maybe not for you, but for myself, it was very important that for my improvement in my treatment that I accept. And nod my head, okay, got it, take my medication every day, and I accept the fact that I'm bipolar. I go about my life. But I didn't accept blindly. Of course not. You have to take part in your own treatment, ask questions to your doctor, figure out the side effects for all your medications. Because right now, for my bipolar disorder, I take 6 medications. And that's a lot. However, I know what each one is for. I know the dosage. I know what each one is for. I know that information. And that's important. It's very empowering. It gives you the power. So if you're deaf or hard of hearing, it doesn't matter. I empower you. Because you can be happy. You can accept your bipolar disorder. You can. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and email me or leave a comment. So thank you very much.